Good evening, everybody. How are we tonight?
Wonderful.
We're going to have a prelude this evening. This is Jason Grassley, who is extremely talented. I just say so myself. He is going to be playing 3 compositions tonight. The first one is an original composition, and then he will introduce the other 2.
So, I'm Jason Grassley, and the first song I actually improvised in a jazz club up in Nyack. I had nothing prepared. I was like, I gotta do something. So made that one up on the spot and burned it into memory. And then the next 2 songs are by Robert Glasper, called Better Than I Imagined and Over. Enjoy.
Good evening, everyone. If I can have your attention. I'm Chris DeCindio, the interim assistant principal. I'd like to welcome you here tonight. Before we get started, just a couple of things. In the rare case of an emergency, you'll notice the exit signs that are illuminated all around the auditorium in case you need to exit. I would also ask you at this time to please silence your cell phones so nothing goes off. A couple of thank yous we would like to start with. First, we would like to thank Dr. Blanche for his support for our music department. We would like to thank the Board of Education for their support, as well as the STARS program. We would also like to thank our custodial staff, who spends numerous hours putting things together, taking things apart, setting everything up. We would like to thank all of you. We know how hard it is to have to take your children to practice, from practice, back and forth with instruments at all different times. So we appreciate all of your dedication as parents to the students. And we would like to thank all of the students for all of their hard work and determination in putting these concerts together for your entertainment. Last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank Mrs. Rachel Malara for all of her hard work and dedication, what she does. And without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Good evening and welcome to our Spring Pops concert. Tonight's show is almost entirely familiar and popular music. You just heard Crazy Train performed by our jazz band with Andrew Winch on set. Jazz band meets once a week before school from January to May. We managed to pack quite a lot into that short time. So we've developed our listening and nonverbal skills as we must be extra tuned into our rhythm section. Crazy Train allowed us to focus on syncopation and get a taste of rock rhythms.
Next, we'll play Ran Can Can with Jason Gressley on the set. We enjoyed this one for its mambo dance style and syncopated horn lines.
And finally, we'll conclude with Bare Necessities with Jaden Maravich on the set. Here we focus on dynamic balance, playing light and crisp, and internalizing swing rhythms. We hope you enjoy.
right, thank you everybody. We're gonna set for 6th grade band now.
We had a lot of fun with Great Beginnings. The most challenging part was balance, which you'll see was a huge theme in our preparation this year. Each instrument section has its own little feature. It was important that featured sections played out while everyone else blended into the background. Enjoy. Pirates of the Caribbean melody. This one was super challenging with its 3/4 time signature and dotted 8/16 rhythms. This piece is also a faster tempo than what we usually play. We were able to practice the tricky rhythms by slowing them down a few measures at a time. We really love this one and we hope you do too.
Jaws, Jurassic Park, and Home Alone.
This piece was challenging as the snare drum is playing triplets, while the rest of the band must stick to its own rhythm. If you love this piece, may the force be with you.
Thank you, 6th grade. We are now going to welcome to the stage the 7th and 8th grade band.
Next up is the 7th and 8th grade band. We'll start with Take On Me, originally performed by the AHA and made even more awesome by SMS 7th and 8th grade band. They worked hard on the section balance and super light articulations. They sang good vibes to the trumpet section to help them nail that melody.
to recognize our 8th graders. If our 8th graders could please stand and enjoy some applause. Congratulations, guys. You're almost done with middle school. We are so proud of you. I'll miss you. Thanks, guys.
Next up is You'll Be Back from the Broadway musical Hamilton. We've been working on watching Mrs. Millara for tempo changes and entrances after her mom. This is another piece we had to focus a lot on blending and balance to bring out King George's irritated rants. Enjoy.
Rhapsody, and Phenomenon. They're both chock full of accidentals, which means sharps, flats, or naturals that are not in the key signature. This is like mental and finger gymnastics. It takes a ton of focus, but it's totally worth it.
Bohemian Rhapsody has several tempo changes and time signature switch, which requires paying extra attention to our conductor. This piece reflects several different moods, which we are trying to convey through dynamic contrast.
Phenomena is an upbeat song, and we decided to really push the tempo. Aside from the accidentals, we worked to improve our super light and separate staccato markings. We like this arrangement because it layers in the different instrument sections one at a time.
Thanks so much for coming tonight and for your support of our super awesome performing arts programs. Please enjoy our last two pieces.